Let's open CYPECAD, for example, where is maybe the most important feature implemented in this version. There are the new modules to design, to analyze and check piles. Okay, I created a very simple model. I'm sorry, it was already running here. Um, just to show to you how it works. Okay, let me show to you. I have this little building that I've created here. Let's deactivate the ground. And I have here my piles, pile caps and piles here, okay, that I've introduced. So since the previous version that was 2025C, the analysis or maybe the calculation of the sinking loads of piles was available here at CypeCAD. So it was the first of a group of three modules for CypeCAD and Cype3D that was published. So this the calculation of pile, the sinking loads of piles. But now in this version we have two more modules that are necessary to check the reinforcements, the structural reinforcement of our piles and also lateral loads. Okay, so we'll see in a little bit how it works, but before we use the software, let me show to you here where you can find more information, more detailed information about these modules. Okay, so we are talking about the PIOS 2 structural check and the PIOS 3 lateral stability analysis. Okay, this option here, PIOS 3, uses the OpenSys engine. So if you already have the OpenSys engine in your license, because you are using maybe with Cype3D or with Cype Connect, now you can also use the OpenSys with CyPeCAD if you need to check the lateral stability analysis of PIOS. Okay, so remembering that PIOS 1 was available since the previous version, as we said before, but now we also have the structural check of this PIOS with the version 2025D and also the lateral stability with PIOS 3. Okay, available for CyPeCAD, Cype3D, and also a little software that we have available that is called foundation elements, where you can analyze the foundation elements separately from the structure. Okay, so but maybe the most important uses are for CyPeCAD and Cype3D. Okay, this is just an example of a pile, in this case the lateral stability analysis. um, but let's open here CyPeCAD and let's see some example. So let's come back here. So how it works here in the beam definition, in the foundations tab, we can decide, we can open the foundation elements menu, okay? And when we introduce a new foundation element or edit one element that was available, we can select the type of pile cap. Okay, so we have here with different numbers of piles and different geometries. I've selected here in our example a pile cap for 3 piles, okay? And we have this little button to access the options that are specific for the piles, okay? The idea here is quite simple. You can create a list of piles that you can have in your library. For example, I've created one here that is called pile 1, okay? If I edit this option, the pile 1 is an on-site concrete pouring pile, could be a precast driven. It's a circular, could be squared, also squared. It's 40 centimeters. And here we can introduce the materials data, like the concrete and the steel properties. And also here we introduce now the longitudinal reinforcements, the number of bars, and also the size. Okay, remembering that this list of diameters, it's according to the codes that I've selected in the beginning of the project, and also the tables that I can manage, so I can personalize these sizes here. And the same situation for the transverse reinforcement, where we select the size and the spacement, okay, and also the covers of this pile. We can create one specific pile, save to our computer, then we can create like a library of piles and then have different types that can be then used in future projects, okay. Once we have the pile, the section of the pile, let's say, the properties of the pile, then we decide the length of the pile and also the penetration of the pile in the pile cap. To illustrate what is that, so we are talking about the distance that we have here in the length of the pile and also the penetration in the pile cap, like this, okay? Once we have these parameters, then we must do the same for the terrain. Okay, so here for the soil, here we can create a list of different layers, soil layers. Oh, so in my situation, I've just created here some examples. I have here first some soft clay, then some semi-hard clay, and then some limestone. Okay, and for each one of these soil layers, you can also do the same. You can create different properties, different combinations here, okay, like this, where we introduce the geotechnical parameters of this soil. So selecting by if it's a cohesive, a granular soil, or if it's rock. Here you can also set the bulk density, the structural properties, let's say, the compressive resistance and the internal friction angle, and also change also the 2D representation, the drawings of the colors of this soil representation. Okay, there are some soils that are available here, some usual project values. So here you can select some examples. If you don't have this data, maybe could be a good reference, but the idea is that you can get this information from the field and create your own soil layers if you need. Okay. So yeah, as you see, when I select one of them, I have here different properties. Remembering that you can also save these soil layers to your computer. Once you decide or you introduce the data of your soil layers, then you can also set other parameters like the minimum moment, the minimum axial force, the buckling coefficient. Okay, here we also have some project data, and also set the distance between pile axes. It means the distance between the center of the one pile to another. Okay, and if you need, you can also use this option to define the displacement of these piles. Okay. Um, Once you do that, you can check. You can actually you can design according to the forces and combinations of your project, and design these pile caps. In my situation here, this pile cap with piles, I have just a warning here. I've selected the ACI 318 as a code, and according to the ACI, most of the parameters of the pile cap were solved. I just have here a warning. It's not actually an error. It's just a warning that is telling us that the pile spacing is measured from the center to the center. The minimum recommended spacing is 3 times the pile diameter. So it's not okay here. We should change the distance between piles or change the size of the pile and add more piles. So we must solve this situation. And you see here that this is new, so this is the information related to the pile cap, but the piles, they have their own checks. So here I have the sinking in compression, the sinking tension, the reinforcement arrangement according to the ACI 318 that I've selected, and as all the other lists or all the other checks that we do here at CYPECAD or also at Cype 3D, you have this system where you see if the check was verified or not, and then you can see the specific topic from the code that you've selected with the results from this analysis and the limits established by the code, and if it's correct or not, if it's secure or not. It's going to be on green or red colors according to this situation. Okay. Um, Coming back here to the model, you see that, for example, in some situations, I can have the pile cap in an unsafe situation, as is this case here. So the pile cap is in red color, okay? Uh, some situations we can have the column, like this one, the column is unsafe. Here the column is safe, and we could also have the pile. In this situation, all the piles were safe, but the pile itself could be also in red, and we'll see uh, um, this graphical representation of the piles in red, meaning that we must check something. Okay. If we analyze, I already analyzed the structure, but I just have some changes here. So let me just design again the pile caps and piles. I will use this option here, quick design with minimum dimensions. So in some seconds we can just check, yeah, if our changes were correct, and then we can jump to the results tab, where we can see some interesting uh, data. For example, here, one thing that I think it's very nice is the 3D view of the rebars. We can select here the um, the the levels of our building and uh, and see how is the result. So we have here all the rebars from the structure that were available at CYPECAD before, but now we also have here the details of our pile caps and our new piles that were just checked according to the data that we introduced before. Okay, so this information can be exported to BIMserver.center. We can generate IFCs with these files, and we can also then use these IFCs for different purposes. One of them could be, for example, send this file to Revit, and in Revit we could transform these IFC rebars into IFC native elements from Revit. Okay, there is a specific module to do that that is available in our list of models. You can check it in our shop in our website. Okay, but yeah, you can also export these elements to other softwares if you need, using the BIMserver.center platform. Okay.